Anderson Cooper, talking to Bernie Sanders here, finally gets Bernie to try to give some sort of vision for America. And Bernie decides he's going to articulate the new Democrat vision by trying and failing to quote Ronald Reagan.
So the idea that this nation, which all of us want to see as what did Ronald Reagan call it? The city on the mountain.
Shining city on a hill.
City on a hill, close, all right. I don't quote Reagan all that often. But, we want to be a model to the world. We want people to look at us and say, we want to be like the United States. Not, oh God, the United States, what are they doing?
A nation with this degree of biblical illiteracy cannot long endure. That nation is doomed. What did Ronald Reagan say? America's like a big, fat, shiny mountain or something like that? I think he called it a shining city on a hill. Yeah, whatever. I don't quote Reagan that much. Where'd he put that? Was that in Win One for the Gipper? Was that the movie with the monkey? No, actually, it was Reagan got it from Governor John Winthrop, model of Christian charity, one of the most important speeches ever given in the United States. Oh, yeah, Winthrop. I like him. Yeah. Where's he from? He was from somewhere in Massachusetts, is Massachusetts Bay Colony. Yeah, anyway, he was a smart guy. Actually, he got it from the Bible. He got it from our Lord. You don't know where the phrase "a shining city on a hill" is from? It would be like saying, yeah, what's that phrase? A man had 7 daughters. No, you're thinking of a man had 2 sons. Yeah, man had 2 sons. I don't quote VeggieTales very often. No, it's not. There was a time in this country not so long ago where if you uttered the phrase "a shining city on a hill," everyone would immediately know not only where that comes from, that is a statement from the Bible, from our Lord, but also would have known the rhetorical and intellectual history of that phrase in America. They would have known that it comes from Governor Winthrop. They would have known that Ronald Reagan liked to articulate it. In a world that constantly challenges our beliefs, now is the time to stand tall and boldly proclaim the truth. This is your moment, your opportunity to come together with top leaders from education, faith, media, and culture who are committed to making a difference. Our high-profile featured speakers include Matt Walsh, Harrison Butker, Kirk Cameron, Father Mike Schmitz, and yours truly. And we will endeavor to share powerful stories and insights on how to rise above fear and take a stand for the truth, no matter the cost. You will be empowered to fearlessly stand up for your values and beliefs, knowing that you are called for such a time as this. It's going to be a great night filled with VIP parties, photo ops, meet and greets, and a call to action that will leave you inspired. This is more than an event. It's a call to action. Together, we will ignite the courage needed to transform our culture and bring light into the darkness. All proceeds benefit furthering the mission of Courage Under Fire and Regina Celli Academy to change our culture through education, arts, law, and the pro-life cause. Regina Celli Academy is the largest and only nationally accredited classical homeschool hybrid with 23 locations and counting across the country. To learn more about Regina Celli Academy and the gala, head over to courageunderfiregala.org. That is courageunderfiregala.org. Use code IGNITE10 to receive 10% off your ticket today. That's IGNITE10, the number 10, not the word 10. Hurry! Tickets are selling fast. There was a time where if you said there was a man who had 2 sons, people would immediately know. Their mind would immediately go to the parable of the prodigal son. There was a time when we had a common cultural language and common cultural idiom and vision that happened also to be Christian, the religion that has animated not only our country, going back to the Mayflower, which is a great cigar company, and also goes back to the religious zealots who founded our country, but also that animated our whole civilization, okay? And we don't have that anymore. A U.S. senator who is super old can't tell you the phrase, "a shining city on a hill." I don't mean to make a mountain out of a molehill, as it were, but this is pathetic. We are becoming just babbling baboons in this country, okay? And our country is going to get uglier and stupider and much less coherent and much less powerful as a result of that. We are truly becoming Philistines. This is completely unacceptable. And I don't mean to just single out Bernie Sanders. I remember, I think it was Leon Kass made this point, the great bioethicist at the University of Chicago, made this point years ago, maybe decades ago at this point. He said he was teaching some of the creme de la creme students at the University of Chicago, one of the elite institutions of higher learning in this country. And he said every year, he would just ask, out of the blue, he would say, hey, who's Noah? Who's Noah? One of the most important figures in the Bible. And he said every year, fewer and fewer students knew who Noah is. You can't understand Western art. You can't understand the development of Western thought. You can't understand Western society without knowing who Noah is, without knowing what the shining city on a hill is, without knowing the basics. Good grief. That was a good clip. Now stop, ring the bell, subscribe. See you next time.